What's up guys, the MMA Oracle here, and today we are breaking down UFC Belgrade Serbia Uros Medic versus Daniel Rodriguez. First fight of the night is Marina Spasic versus Stephanie Luciano. I'm taking Luciano here. I think she's the more all-round fighter. Now Spasic is experienced, even though she's only debuting. This is her first fight in the UFC. She's had over 100 fights in kickboxing. She's got heavy hands. She's got mean leg kicks as well. But I think Luciano is just a bit too quick for her. She's fast. She's got fast hands. She likes to circle the cage. Pops in and out. Keeps you at range. She mixes in the grappling. Spasic has no takedown defense. None that I've seen anyway. She hasn't been against any high level opponents. Anyone with decent takedown attempts yet. So we'll have to see. But I feel like Luciano will be able to mix it up a bit here. I think she'll be able to take her down to the ground. She'll be able to work her on the ground. I think we're looking at a submission or decision win here for Stephanie Luciano. We move on to the second fight of the night. Jovan Leka versus Alexander Papek. I'm going with Jovan Leka here. I think he's going to finish him. Massive size advantage here. Papek is moving up from light heavyweight. He's been around for a long time. He was knocked out by Jamal Hill like 10 years ago. He's been on the regional scene for quite a while now. Jovan Leka was on the Contender Series, but he showed one of the worst performances I've ever seen. I was watching that live. He was just exhausted, rolling around on the ground with another big fat blob. Two of them couldn't even throw a punch. They were so tired. And that was just 3 rounds of that. But Leka likes to make his opponents carry his weight. He's also got a nice 1-2. Keeps it simple. Decent submission attempts every now and then. Takedowns are a bit lazy, but I think the weight and the size advantage here, and he's just going to make Papek carry him. He's going to tire Papek out, and I think he'll get the finish either by KO or submission. I'm leaning more towards the KO, but I do not think this goes the distance. We move on to the next one, Nina Milosevic versus Hailey Cohen. This is another one that I think is quite close. I think just like the first ladies fight, this is closer than the odds make it seem. Hailey Cohen, she's on a 3-fight losing streak. She hasn't looked great. Technique hasn't been there. She's got good power though, well, okay power. And she's got good grappling. Now Milosevic, this is her debut. I've watched some tape back on her. I'm not impressed with her striking. When it's against taller opponents, she seems to have trouble. Her grappling is pretty good though. She's got good transitions. But she doesn't impress me that much for the odds to be this wide. I think Hailey could bully her here because there is a big size advantage here too for Hailey Cohen. And if she comes out with a good game plan with grappling, if she can get some ground and pound in, maybe throw in a few threats of the submission, you never know. This could go to Hailey Cohen's side. And I haven't been impressed with Milosevic. She hasn't fought any decent opponent yet. This is her debut. A lot of pressure in Serbia. I think this is the perfect opportunity for Hailey Cohen to break her losing streak and get a win. I think Hailey Cohen by submission or decision here. I think she's going to be able to use her size when it comes to the grappling and really bully her. Tire her out and just drag her around the cage. Land in a few shots in between the takedowns and yeah. Now this is a fight that just stinks like a trap. There's a lot of fights like this on the card that are hard to judge. I mean, you think Rebecca should come out and just chin Kyle Prepelic. Enough said, round 1, round 2, finish KO easy. But I don't know, Kyle Prepelic's decent. In his last fight against Drew Dober, he showed up. He was good. He was piecing Dober up on the outside. I mean, he made Dober work. He was winning. He was winning that fight before he got knocked out in the 3rd round. And I think Drew Dober is a better striker than Matthias Rebeski. I really do. I think he's quicker than him. I think he's faster. think he's smarter and he's got the cleaner strikes. And if Kyle Prepelic could deal, well, he didn't deal with him, but he dealt with him up to the third round before he started getting a bit tired. He did get kicked in the fucking nuts as well, so. The problem is, though, I just do not trust Kyle Prepelic to pick him here. He just has no chin. Rebecca could just touch him and he could be lights out, we don't know. And that is Rebecca's style. He just pressures, he runs at the opponent and he just swings. He doesn't care about what's coming at him. He doesn't care about what he eats. I think this is a bad matchup for Prepelic. That's how he got knocked out against Drew Dober. Drew Dober just pressured him, relentless pressure in the third round because he knew he was losing the fight. Chasing him down the cage. And he found it. Knocked him out. So I think Rebecca should win by KO here. But I would not be surprised if Kyle Prepelic just pulled out a decision win. Or maybe a submission, maybe. I don't see a KO or TKO. If it's a KO, it's a TKO. Maybe he gets him some ground and pound. Maybe full mount. Boom, 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 boom. Rebecca's face. He cuts easily, so blood everywhere. TKO. I don't see that happening either. If Kyle Prepelic wins, it's by decision. But I don't see that. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he withstands Rebecca's pressure. Rebecca KO. Moving on, we have Denis Buzukja versus Bogdan Grad. I think Denis Buzukja will win this fight. He's moved to Albania for his camp, along with Mark Vologdin, who is another fighter fighting later on in this card. He's paying out of his own pocket. He seems to be motivated. He's dialed in. He's saying that he's in the best shape he's ever been in. I rate him, I do. He's had a tough few losses, but if being against decent opponents, he went to a split decision with Francis Marshall, which impressed me. I mean, obviously he was knocked out in his last fight, but so was Bogdan Grad. I think Buzukja has the way better striking here. Obviously Bogdan Grad has the better grappling, but I think Denis will be able to stuff the takedowns. I think he will. I think Bogdan Grad cardio is a little bit worse. I think Buzukja only gets better as the fight goes on. He's kind of a slow starter, but he warms up pretty fast in the second and third round and he goes for it. Whereas Bogdan Grad, he kind of slows down after the first. So I see a finish here for Buzukja in the second or third. Maybe, Bogdan Grad could initiate the grappling in the second and third, take it down, stretch out the fight. But I think the damage will definitely be on Buzukja's side. So it might go decision, it might go... Buzukja will win, no matter what. Moneyline Buzukja, 100% confident. On to the next one, let's go. Borislav Nikolic versus Mark Vologdin. Borislav Nikolic coming in on his debut. He's a long, rangy fighter. He's got heavy hands, decent grappling, looks and finds the finish in most of his fights. This is a dangerous fight for Mark Vologdin. My original thought process was Borislav Nikolic is going to come in here, piece him up and find the finish. He's going to knock him out eventually. Mark Vologdin just eats too many shots. He doesn't have great head movement. He's good jumping in and out. He kind of just mostly blocks with his shoulders. But I will say he has relentless pressure. He just pushes and pushes and pushes. Constant shots. But he does tire. He does. We've seen him tire in the second and third. He pushes through it. I feel like Nikolic is going to have a hard time finding his shots against such a short guy. Mark Vologdin is only 5'3". Nikolic is 5'9". They've actually named Mark Vologdin Boss Baby. That's his new nickname now in the UFC, confirmed. I think it's going to be hard for Nikolic to find his shots against such a short guy who's constantly applying the pressure. But he will. He's still going to find those shots and he's got heavy hands. This fight's going to end in a finish. Who's going to knock out who? It could just be up to a coin toss, to be honest. I'm leaning towards Nikolic. But I wouldn't be surprised the way Vologdin just is, his ability to bring every fight into a brawl. Especially Nikolic being Serbian, debuting in Serbia. This could just be an absolute barn burner. Both of them just swinging at each other, waiting for the other one to drop. So if I had to bet on it, fight no distance, the odds are pretty good on the fight not going the distance for some reason. So I'll go with that. go either way here. Fight no distance is the pick. Next fight, Oban Elliott versus Michael Oliveira. Michael Oliveira by KO. 100%. Oban Elliott is getting chinned. He's got okay striking. I mean, everyone's talking about Oban Elliott's grappling, but I just don't rate it. I don't think he's got good grappling. I think he tries it, and he will try it in this fight, but I think Oliveira's got a very strong base. Elliott's going to try and grind him out in the cage, but Oliveira is the bigger guy. If you watched his weigh-in, he's cut a lot of weight. He looked sick on that scale. Now, that can be a bad thing, but that can be a good thing too, because he's ballooning back up after cutting all that weight down and just dehydrating himself. So he will be the bigger fighter in this. I think his striking is clean. He's got heavy hands. Oban Elliott has been knocked out before. I see him being knocked out again in this fight. Give me Michael Oliveira by KO. Next fight, Ludwig Klein versus Tafik Musayev. Taking Tafik Musayev here. I think Klein is overrated. I think in his last fight he got hurt against Rebecca. He should have lost. All Rebecca had to do was stand up and he would have won that fight. But he's an idiot. He had Klein hurt. Klein injured his knee, I think it was. He's been out now for a while. So I think he got lucky there. He was winning the fight. But he did get lucky that Rebecca has zero fight IQ. And before that, he was dominated on the floor by Gamrat. But Gamrat is good. Now, I'm not saying Musayev is anywhere near the level of Gamrat, but he pressures and he just looks for the takedowns. That's all he's looking for. Damage, takedown. The pressure and relentlessness from Tafik Musayev here will land him the win. I think he could potentially knock him out. I think Klein is overrated. I don't think he has any power. He's a point fighter. Coming off an injury with his bad knee. He hasn't finished anyone since AJ Cunningham. When is that? That was 2 years ago. AJ Cunningham at the time was coming up a weight class on short notice. 4 days short notice. That's the last person Klein managed to finish. I don't think he can finish Tafik here. Tafik has a chin made of granite. I think Musayev is going to drown him with the pressure and the takedowns and grind out a decision, or maybe land some vicious ground and pound and finish him. Tafik is the pick. On to the next one. Milos Janicic versus Noah Gugnin. I'm taking Noah Gugnin here. I think he's the way more well-rounded fighter. I think he's the better striker, better grappler, has better cardio. I'm taking Gugnin here. I think he'll get the finish. Janic is the more experienced fighter, but he's fighting borderline journeyman. 26-16, 8-7, 11-8, 7-9. He's fighting guys who are 11-10, 9-7. His record is quite padded. In the last couple of years, he's been fighting in dirty boxing, and it's probably some of the worst striking I've seen in a while. He just does not impress me at all. Watching back tape on Gugnin, I like his fundamentals. I think he's quite technically good. He's got good ground game. He's got submissions. He's got some serious knockouts. I think he's a proper fighter, and I think he'll have no trouble finding a finish here. Either a KO or a submission. He might take him down to the ground. We'll see, but he'll definitely get him out of there in those 3 rounds. Next fight. Vlasto Chepo versus Gilbert Urbina. Another trap. There's just too many fights on this card that can go either way. Vlasto Chepo versus Gilbert Urbina. Vlasto Chepo should knock out Gilbert here in the first round. But another fight, just like there's so many fights on this card that feel like traps that could go either way. Like Chepo should get the knockout here in the first round, but if Urbina weathers the storm and this goes into the second, this could be very dangerous for Chepo. He has no cardio. His whole style and game plan is the first bell of the first round dings, he just runs straight across the cage and he's just throwing overhands. Overhands. He's just throwing overhands. If he gets any bit pressured, he likes to throw the uppercut, but it's mainly just overhands. He tires. He's a first round fighter. 0 cardio leading into the second round. So if Urbina wins here, Again, I wouldn't be shocked. If Chepo can't find the finish in the first round, he's done. But Urbina has been finished in his last 2 fights. Bear in mind that's against Charles Radke and Oros Medic, who do have very heavy hands. I don't know. If I was betting on this fight, I'd actually skip it, because I wouldn't be surprised if Urbina pulled off the upset here. Urbina doesn't have a chin, yes, but he's only been knocked out by fighters who have heavy hands and are very technical. Chepo isn't technical. He swings and just puts his power into it. He doesn't try and find the shot. So if Urbina, he likes to have that high guard, almost like Diego Lopez, he might be able to eat some of these shots. He might be able to clinch. He might be able to find a trip. Keep the jab with him. Maybe keep him away if he can just survive that first round. And it's not impossible. If I was betting on this fight, I'd say I'd take Urbina and just put a small bet on the side. Chepo, first round KO. But other than that, I'm not touching this. Next fight. Dusko Todorovic versus Robert Valentine. I'm going with Robert Valentine here. Todorovic has not impressed me in his last 2 fights. He's been chinned a few times, and it looks like he's scared of striking now. He's really leaned into the grappling. In his last 2 fights, he's looked to just press and hold against the cage. He's slowed down a lot. His cardio isn't looking great. In rounds 2 and 3, he looks like shit. I mean, he's still got decent power, but his reaction time, everything about him just screams slow. Now, Robert Valentine, he's the bigger guy. He's vicious. On his Contender Series run and a little bit before that in the regional scene, people were bigging him up to be like the next big thing. And then he's had a bit of a bad stint in the UFC. But he's coming off a submission win. He's got sneaky good transitions. He does accept the takedowns a bit, which Dusko will be looking for here. But I think Valentine could easily find a submission here. He's rangy as well. He's a lot faster than Dusko. He's got nice kicks. He's an all-round fighter. He mixes up a good bit, you know. I think Dusko is just too one-dimensional. Not smart. Just nothing impresses me. There's no explosiveness. He's just slow. I think Valentine will finish him here. I think he'll find a submission, but I wouldn't be surprised as well, because Valentine has vicious elbows. Dusko kind of just comes crashing in a lot, so Valentine could land a sneaky elbow in the clinch up against the cage, but I see this fight going down to the mat and Valentine submitting him. Next fight, Alexander Rakic versus Marcin Tybura. Marcin Tybura is getting tucked into bed and put to sleep by Alexander Rakic, 1000%. Rakic is on a 4-fight losing streak. He's coming up here from light heavyweight, but I think he's better suited at the heavyweight division. He said here he feels great after the weight cut. He barely had to cut any weight. He's coming off a 4-fight losing streak, but those are against some good guys, you know, Jan, Yuri, and Kalaev. Tybura he's old, he's ploddy, he's 40. He's coming in 20 pounds heavier, just under 20 pounds heavier than Rakic here. But Rakic has the speed, the power. Dare I say, I think he even has the cardio advantage here. Tybura is just a big, ploddy, heavy-footed fighter. Jab, jab, jab. Try and get close, try and clinch, push up in the cage, maybe look for a takedown, but he's got no oomph to him anymore. He's 40. He's doing this for the money, I think. Rakic wants this win. Rakic needs this win. He's looking for the finish. He's got seriously mean, heavy leg kicks. And with Tybura being so heavy-footed, old, slow, gas tank isn't as good as it used to be. He can't really get to takedowns like he used to. Rakic is going to sleep him here 100%. Second round if Tybura somehow manages to last the first 5 minutes. But 100% Rakic by KO. Next fight. Jan Blachowicz versus Navajo Sterling. I don't think Navajo will get the finish against Jan. I think he'll draw this out, pick at him. Jan has nasty leg kicks though. If Jan lands some of those leg kicks and closes the distance, Navo can't skirt around the cage as much. He's getting pieced up a bit more. It could be a lot closer of a fight. I see this going decision. I'm leaning towards Navajo by decision, but it wouldn't surprise me if Jan pulled this off somehow. But my pick is going to be Navajo Sterling by decision. Final pick, I hope I'm wrong, but yeah. Last fight of the night. Oris Medic versus Daniel Rodriguez. Oris Medic by KO first or second round. It's happening, 100%. It's written in the stars. If you don't know, D-Rod is just out of prison, Tijuana prison. He's been in there for the last 9 months. He gets a call, UFC, hey, do you want to fight? Of course he does, he's broke. Oris Medic is a nasty fighter. He's coming off a win against Jeff Neal. He knocked him out viciously in the first round. Yeah, I don't see D-Rod making it out the first or second round here. Now, D-Rod looked good in his last fight against Kevin Holland, but that was before his stint in prison, where he's not exercising, he's not on a good diet, he's not dialed in, you know. He is the older fighter, he's 39 now, and he did get dropped in that fight against Kevin Holland, and it was just a lazy uppercut, barely touched him, nearly went out. So there's signs that Shin is going or already potentially gone. Medic has serious power. He's got so many first round finishes now, it's ridiculous. So I'm taking Medic by KO under 2.5 rounds just to be safe. I think D-Rod could exchange in the grappling in the first round, maybe survive to the second, but his cardio is also horrendous. There's just no way out of this fight for him. He is getting slept. But that is that, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Good luck this Saturday.